Oh, cool. So we're joining the North American eRacing League YouTube.
Oh, sweet. There it is, there it is.
Right. Alright, alright, alright.
I'm hoping we get invites.
Get in there. Okay, cool.
There it is. Just got that invite.
Hey, ask, you shall receive.
Alright, so Avenged.
Yeah.
We're here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the mile-and-a-half, incredibly fast mile-and-a-half track tonight for our NARL Cup Series. Second race of the season after a great race at Daytona. We saw, you already heard, we saw Joe take away or take the championship trophy there in Daytona. And you know, he was able to cement his legacy for this league. You know, a guy who claims that this is going to be his last full season as a driver in the NARL. And seeing him take home the win last week, definitely building momentum right off the bat in the beginning of the season. Who do you think you're going to have your eye on for tonight, being that at Atlanta Motor Speedway, it's a completely different race, a completely different track, tons of different strategies now play into it with tires and fuel. Who are you looking at tonight?
Well, for one, I'm not completely sold on the fact that he's going to retire after the season, especially if he has a run at the championship and maybe he finishes second or whatnot. He may give it another. Obviously, that's to be determined. We're very early on in we can do a pre-race. Somebody that's caught my eye as I try to find my invite. There it is. I'm gonna rely back on the old reliables, the Captain Killums, we could throw Draven back in there. The you already heard the the Championship 4 that really showed that they were fast on the intermediate tracks as well. Now, as always, keep an eye on Max Boost. He's new to the Cup Series this year. But like you said, we're at Atlanta Motor Speedway. This is the first mile and a half of the season for the Folds of Honor QT Quick Trip 500. And boy, do we have some talent on the track tonight. I'm Avenged, as you know, and I'm joined by Doc as always. Doc, how you doing? How you faring the coronavirus?
Dude, man, I tell you what. It's been a crazy 24 hours. It's been kind of wild going in the lab today and then finding out that I was getting sent home because of a lab mate having the virus and working in the same hospital that we had a case in. But man, it's been crazy, dude. But I'm happy to be here tonight.
Oh, geez. Well, just spend the next 2 weeks out turning laps. I guess we have an early wreck in the back. Ooh. Oh my goodness, the Raven's in the air, the 12 of K-Bart was involved, and the 43 of Shadowhawk, your first caution of the night, not even a lap into this race. And these guys were driving. We're not going to have a replay of that, are we?
Yeah, I hope not. I definitely hope not, yeah.
I'm not sure if it was anything dirty or aggressive. I saw back there K-Bar got in the wall a little bit, and don't get me wrong, I didn't see the whole thing, but maybe he wasn't able to hold it up there or I don't think fireworks are flying just quite yet, but man, 3/4 of a lap, you've already got a. So let's see if these guys can straighten it out.
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping that these guys can show the truck series, how to race smart and how to be patient, because our race, we had a great race, but at the same time, we also had a lot of cautions, and I'm hoping these guys can kind of be an example and really put on a show tonight without too many yellows.
All right, well, here we go. We're back green. They're only about 3 laps into this race now once you tick off the 2 caution laps. And it looks like the 19 is up front of NR Lewis. At one point, I don't think he was saying he was going to make the race, and now here we go. He's leading laps. Right behind him, you got the 42 of Ronnie Mack pushing him. Whoa. No, he actually gets to the inside of the 19. He's going to try to go for lead, see if I can't cycle around quick enough. There we go. So there goes Ronnie Mack in that 42, battling for the lead with the 32 of Gator Mike right behind him. NR Lewis is stuck on that outside line. Oh, a little bit of gator lag there. That had to make you already heard a little nervous. Now, Doc, we saw NR Lewis get shuffled out to the top, and now he's falling to the back. What's the reason for that here at Atlanta?
Tell you what, man, when you get that high lane, it is so much slower than that inside line. But when you're on that inside line, you're using up a lot more of your tires. And as we know at this track, at this mile and a half, the surface can be incredibly abrasive to those tires, and it'll wear out those right sides really quick. And so even though that outside line is a little bit slower, you're going to get shuffled to the back. But if you play your cards right, you might actually be able to save enough tire to extend your longevity on those rubbers to last the stage. But yeah, unfortunately, NR Lewis.
Oh, there are three there. Gator gets in the wall.
Oh, we got him crashing behind.
Oh,
we got somebody flipping in the air.
I can't get back there quick enough. Obviously, the 32's involved. Is that the 10 of Mr. Williams? No, that's the 4 Draven. Again, the 22 at TB14. Wow. So that's not a good start to the race. Yeah. Second caution for cause.
Draven is getting caught up in everything, it seems, tonight. He's just been in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Unfortunately, as they were 3 wide, it looked like Gator Mike got pinched to that outside lane. They had NR Lewis there in the middle lane, and there just wasn't enough room. And when you're coming out of that corner at those high speeds, out of turn 2, out of turn 4, things can get pretty crazy down the back stretch and even in the front stretch.
Definitely, especially when everybody's fighting for that bottom lane, like you had mentioned earlier. It's definitely the preferred line around here. I want to say hey to Big Jim in the comment section. Couldn't race tonight, but he's finding a way to watch the broadcast. You know, loyal as always. Appreciate you, Big Jim.
Yeah, appreciate you, Jimmy.
All right, so here we go. We got the 3 of Wasted now leading the field to green. We got the 9 of Steve on the outside. The 88 Lieutenant is going to restart third. He's going to try to get past guys. And the 9 did not pit. I'm not sure about everybody behind him. But the 42, no, the 1 was leading before that caution came out. So now the 1 and the 42 were back there side by side. They got to be on fresh tires. Watch for these guys to charge to the front as the 1 actually gets stuck behind that 2 for the moment. And here comes Lieutenant Crunch, the Cup Series Season 1 champion, surging the lead underneath that 3 Chevrolet Camaro. They're 3 wide.
Steve-O's going to get put 3 wide in that 9. And in between, you already heard, and also I believe that's the 2 of Kevin 1.0. But they're going to be able to get to double file here as they enter 1.
Oh, here you go. Looks like Ronnie in that 42 is all over the back bumper. That 88, he is not content with second place as they're all scattering here in the back. Yeah, oh, looks like everybody straightens it out here. Let's get back up to the front. There we go. Here's the battle. The 42 of Ronnie Mack underneath the 88. Looks like he's going to take the lead away here. Now, he pit on that last caution, so he's got better tires than the 88. I'm not sure what this 14 and the 1 car behind him has, but you got to think they're not content running in the top 5 either. They want to come up and get some laps.
Definitely. At this track, the front is where you want to be. I mean...
The 42. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Doc.
No, that's fine. Yeah, like you were saying, that inside right here, you know, that's where you want to be. You want to be at the front of the field. You want to be on that inside line. I saw you run in that exact same line in our truck race. And as long as you stay up front and avoid the chaos from people getting loose after their tires start to get worn, you can really put yourself in a good position to get stage points and also the victory at the end. But staying in the front throughout the entire race is definitely key here. Track position is everything. If you get caught in back or with bad track position late in the race, it's going to be really hard for you to be able to make up that ground.
Yeah, as we see case in point with the 4 Draven back here, he's been involved in the first 2 accidents while being in the back. And he's done a pretty good job. He's up here to P5, battling with these guys. It looks like the 1 of you already heard might have a run on the 14. Oh, he's got a little bit of run. Is he going to take it? And he does. He's on the inside of the 14. The 48's going to follow right behind him.
Yeah, max boost. He actually had his first regular season win, first win ever in the NARL at this track. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him put on a good performance tonight, knowing that he's incredibly strong at this racetrack. But yeah, I mean, now you've got Draven in the 4 now. Back up front, he's in 4th, and then you got his teammate Captain Killam right there in 3rd. You wonder if these guys are going to actually work together here for TJR.
Yeah, we'll see right now. The Ford machine is in a heated battle with B-Ball fan back there in that 20 Toyota Camry. They are all over the track back there. Nothing dirty, but, you know, everybody's kind of battling for position at the moment. Looks like Lieutenant Crunch is falling back there in the back. Oh, Max Boost is going to try the outside around the 1 machine. Here comes that throwback 48 around the outside and going into turn 3. He's got a huge run into the turn. But you know that bottom lane is the preferred one, and here comes, you already heard, battling right back. Well, I don't know, the 48 held his own on the outside
really
there.
Surprising to me. Seeing that outside lane be able to hold steady there with the inside, as they're still door to door, going into 1 and coming out of 2. But yeah, that's one of the things you don't really see too often, is that outside line actually working.
Oh, it looked like they were about to go 3 wide there for a second, but the 20 of B-Ball fan backed off just a little bit. And they all get lined back up. The 48's going to have to re-evaluate his plan if he wants to pass this one of you already heard.
Oh, he's going to the inside now. Oh, he wasn't able to quite get there, though.
Jagboy tuning in. Jagboy, how you doing? Oh, and there goes the 48. He's inside of the 1. They're side by side at turn 3. He's at his door. You got to think he's going to pull him on the front stretch here, but Joe holding strong on the outside. There might be a little bit of a high lane here tonight, Doc.
Tell you, man, these guys are making the impossible look possible. You know, and I like that mid lane. Racing here in the trucks and even in Xfinity, I like that mid lane, you know, because not only can you somewhat save tires, but it isn't that slow. Not as slow as the high lane, but yeah, unfortunately, Joe's not going to be able to get that mid lane working like Max could. He's going to fall to 3rd, as now Draven, being patient here after getting caught up into 2 early wrecks, none of his doing, is sitting here in P2, stalking Max Boost for the lead.
All right, so there they go. How many laps left do we have in stage 1?
Well, unfortunately.
Draven dives down below the 48. Sorry, they're battling hard up here for the lead.
They sure are, man. It's going to get excited because Joe's going to go down there too.
He got a little bit of the grass. Get in that grass just a little bit here. Slows you down just enough to separate you from that car in front of you. But look at that 48 battling on the outside. Now the 4 is eventually going to get him on the inside here. But that high line is not as vulnerable maybe as I thought it would be, especially in a cup car. Oh, a little bit of contact.
He almost made contact.
Just a little bit. He's battling up there. That 48's giving the 4 everything he's got as they battle side by side for another lap.
Yeah, we now have 19 to go, and the fuel window here, they've got about 17 laps left in the tank, so they're going to have to make a late, they could also cut the stage in half, but they're going to have to come down for fuel in this stage regardless. So it'll be interesting to see who does what, who pits when, and how that all filters out.
Now, if a car back here, I don't know, let's say that 88 well in the draft, would he have enough time to save 2 laps? Oh, a little bit of contact between the 4 and the 48. And it looks like the 1's going to take advantage. You already surges to the lead.
No, he definitely does. And yeah, that little contact going up the track there by Draven in that contact with Max Boost in the 48, that opened the door wide open for Joe on that inside lane. And don't look now, but Captain Killam is on his way. And you even got the 12 of K-Bart coming into the picture. So all these guys are now back into contention here for...
Out there, I was about to mention we got K-Bart in the top 5, top 3. He's up here battling it out with these guys, showing everybody that he belongs up here as well. He's not just the commissioner of the league, he's a competitor as he takes away P3 from Draven. Of the series, excuse me, not the league.
43 is now coming in the picture as well, as he's going to go underneath Max Boost for that 5th spot. And right behind him, you got Ronnie Mack in the 42 in that Chevy Camaro. So
the 12 of K-Bart through the grass. He saves it, but he's going to lose some positions here.
Yep, unfortunately, he decided to cut some grass there, and he's going to fall back to 5th. But it seems like he's able to regain speed and get some momentum coming out of 2. As we still have some side-by-side action down here. I mean, we got a single file here in the front, but now it looks like they're going to actually start to go single file.
But look who's battling back already, not letting the grass get into his psyche. Here comes K-Bart back to P4.
Yeah, he took advantage there. Shadowhawk still on the outside. Max Boost is going to go underneath him, and Ronnie Mack is there trying to take a position away as well. He's on his left rear quarter panel, but it looks like Shadow's going to be able to get back in line on the backstretch.
Oh, and they're slicing and dicing up here, man. It's not, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a ton of talent, and they can do it. It's making me nervous. I feel like another caution is going to come out for the stage ends, but we'll see. We do have green flag stops coming, courtesy of Doc. He's letting us know that. Appreciate you. Do we know how many laps left? I know I just asked, but
we have 14 left right now. So these guys are probably going to want to come down pit road. If they split the stage, I would imagine probably in the next 5 laps. But these guys also might just decide, well, I'm going to stay out till there's only 3 laps to go or 2 laps to go. Run the tank dry and basically just put a squirt of fuel in and try to make it to the end of the stage without doing too much to the car, just to save time on pit road. But we'll see what these guys choose to do.
All right, so I guess we got to be careful calling out drivers here tonight, because Jim and Jagboy said we gave K-Bart the commentator curse. Called him out right before we put him through the grass. So
I'm sorry about that. I'll take the blame for that one. That's my fault. I was, getting all hyped for that 12 coming in the picture, coming out of nowhere in 3rd place, and now he's in 4th. But
he battled back.
Yeah, he has battled back. He's done a good job recovering after those few mishaps.
We got 32 of Gator Mike on pit road. A little bit short pitting action going on here.
Yeah, that's a big strategy call. And some of these other guys, it looks like.
Captain Kill to the inside, if you already heard, for the lead going into turn 3. And Joe's battling back on that outside. He does not care that the inside is the preferred lane. He's going to give every lap the best he's got.
Definitely.
Here comes Draven.
These guys are catching the 10 of Mr. Williams right now. Not necessarily certain if he just fell off the pace or if we missed him pitting, but these guys are definitely catching up to him. So it'll be important for him to try to or prevent himself rather from going a lap down. And K-Bart's actually going to slide up in front of Shadowhawk there in the 43 as they come out of turn 4. That could have been a disaster.
Now we could have missed Mr. Williams' pit, but do you think he might be trying to conserve fuel, some tires, try to get some stage points here?
Could be. He definitely could be. He might be conserving both and just trying to take advantage of these guys taking pit stops while he just stays out. But
I think Joe just gave the signal that he's coming down. I'm not sure. We'll have to keep here, but
yeah, I'm not sure if they're diving under because they're loose or they're diving under. Because
here comes Joe. Here comes the 12 of K-Bart. The 3 have wasted. K-Bart, strong entry there. He made up a lot of time and he gave it up right at the end. The 2 of Kevin is on pit road. The 9 of Steve is on pit road. Meantime, we got a battle for the lead up here. Here comes the 4 of Draven battling on side of his teammate of Captain Killam. But here comes the 20 of B-Ball. He does not care what's going on up here. He wants to lead. On the 14, drove it in there. I'm not sure if they're communicating or not, but he took it down to the outside. Let's see, and the leaders stay out another lap.
These guys are teammates, but on the track, they're both trying to go for the win. They both want to get those first place stage points. So, friendship or not, all that just kind of goes out the window, and you're racing. You're racing an enemy out there, whether they're in your camp or not. So
here comes B-Ball fan, and I gotta tell you, he's not in the camp, and he does not care how friendly they're being with each other.
No, he does not. He's going to try to take full advantage of this, and the guy behind him, Ronnie Mack in the 42, is going to try to do the same. I think the 20 is going to be able to get underneath the 4 here as they go into 1, and he's going to probably be able to take away that position as that inside line is definitely quicker than the outside.
Oh,
Draven's going to lose both positions because of it.
And just like that, if I'm Draven, now's the time to pit, right? Or are you still going to... Oh, the 20 messed up his entry a little bit. So did the 42. Oh, they both saved it. Is the 4 coming down?
Like you said, avenged.
Yeah, it's just time to come down after that.
Yeah, coming down alone, too. So he's definitely on a unique pit strategy call. We'll have to see if this puts Draven into a good position coming off pit road. Yeah, that 20 still stalking Captain Killam there in the 14. He's going to try to make the outside lane work. It looks like he's trying to conserve a little bit going to the high side. And Captain Killam's also going to come down now to pit road in that 14. And so does the 42 of Ronnie Mack. Both of them are going to follow suit. And so the 20 of B-Ball Fan is now going to take the lead.
Can you see can you see a running order on K-Bart's stream? Or whoever's stream?
At the moment, I cannot. I'm on Captain Killam's stream going down pit road, and he is currently...
I don't know. Did we miss coming on pit road?
Did we miss who?
The 48?
Not necessarily sure.
Because Jim brought up a good point that he felt like Max was saving. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if he has pit yet. I don't believe he has.
Can you see that little oval on the bottom left of K-Bart's or whoever's stream? Can you see what number's leading?
B-Ball Fan is currently leading. Max Boost is actually about 1.1 seconds back of Captain Killam in second. So, actually, no, he's only a tenth now.
Oh yeah, well, they're battling. So this is actually a battle for the lead then. Once B-Ball Fan pits, right?
Exactly, and looks like Max is they're side by side. It looks like Max is going to be able to take. Is he going to quite clear him?
He clears him on the outside, but Killam should be on one lap newer tires, right?
He should be, yeah. That's very interesting. He was able to pass him on the outside and still be able to put some distance between him and Killam there for that second spot. But with B-Ball Fan, he's a good 40 seconds in front of both of these guys on the track as your leader. But like you said, Avenged, he will also probably have to come down a pit. As there's only 3 laps remaining in the stage. And looks like B-Ball Fan is incredibly slow on the track. He just came off pit road, it looks like. And looks like Max Boost is going to try to go for the lead here on the outside. He's going to do that easily. As Captain Killam's also going to be able to take away second from B-Ball Fan.
Oh, B-Ball Fan through the grass. He may have took 2 or no tires, trying some strategy out here, and it's not working out for him at all as he follows back to 6th place. So we have 1 to go at the line?
I believe we do. I believe we'll have 1 to go here at the line. And Killam's going to dive to the inside of Max Boost, and he's going to try to take away the lead from that 48.
Oh, I don't know if there's actually contact or not, but they got close enough to let him move up the track as they come down to, I think, 1 to go. Captain Killam currently in the lead with the 48 of Max Boost right on his bumper. And these guys are also teammates, but I don't think Max Boost appreciated that move going into 4.
Probably not, and he's going to be able to stay in the draft of Killam. It's going to be
Killam's breaking it. Killam's breaking it. He's running a defensive line into 3.
Definitely.
Oh, Max Boost. There's room if he wants it. No, Killam shut the door.
He definitely did. That was really smart there by Killam, but he's going to still try to go to the inside. Not going to be able to make it work, and Killam is going to be the stage winner in stage 1. Wow.
And who's that? Draven finished 3rd?
Yes, Draven finished 3rd, Ronnie Mack at the 42, and I believe... No, Draven finished 3rd, Lieutenant Crunch in 4th spot, and then Ronnie Mack rounding out your top 5 for stage points tonight.
All right, so what strategy could they pull here at this stage break pit stops? Ugh.
Honestly, here, you make the necessary tire pressure adjustment, the wedge adjustment, tape adjustment that you think works best for your own driving style, but you got to go with 4 fresh Goodyears and a full tank of fuel, or however much it takes to fill up your tank, because tires and fuel, obviously here, tires more than anything are of a massive necessity. So just take care of your equipment, just make sure you get fresh everything, and just try to conserve a little bit here at the beginning of stage 2.
Nah, for sure. I agree with you. You got to take 4 fresh tires here, especially at Atlanta. It's a cheese grater. And those tires just shred away, especially once you get around 10 to 20 some laps. Your tires are just gone. As Captain Killam leads this field to the green in turns 1 and 2 as the 4 Draven stuck on the outside there. Looks like the 48 of Max Boost should be able to take away that position. He's all over the back bumper of the 14. He looked inside, but it's not there. It's the 88 of... Ooh, he got the apron there a little bit. He's lagging the bottom lane behind. As the 42 of Ronnie Mack looks like he wants to get past him quickly. He just can't make it happen.
Yeah, all these guys are too wide back. You got K-Bart and
oh, Max Boost is making a... there's always action when... Sorry, go ahead.
There is. No, go ahead.
Well, Max Boost was on the inside of the 14, but the 14 made that middle groove work again somehow. I'm not quite sure how these guys are doing it, but that's why they're championship contenders, and I'm in the Truck Series.
We got some good battles back here, too, between the 43 of Shadowhawk and the 42 of Ronnie Mack. Both of these guys fighting for that fourth spot, and they have been relentless. It's been some door-to-door racing. But it looks like Shadowhawk on that inside is going to be able to shuffle Ronnie Mack back a few spots, and that's actually going to open the door for Joe to take that fifth spot.
Ooh, Draven's lagging. Sorry.
Yeah, he is. I definitely saw that little lag in the back. Looked like they were going 3 wide because of it. Ooh, and it looks like there was a little bit of contact there coming out of 4 off of that low line. Not exactly sure who that was, but I saw a car getting a little squirrely there coming off of 4. But notice on that restart how slow that high lane was. I mean, honestly, at this racetrack, I would much rather be in 3rd place than 2nd on a restart because that high lane, you saw Draven get absolutely shuffled back just by starting in 2nd on that restart. And that's exactly what happened in the Truck Series with you and I, Avenged. You had the pole. I was on the outside of you starting 2nd. We had a broadcaster front row in that race. And, man, it literally felt like my truck was going through cement after I had gone through 1 and coming out of 2. You were able to put a lot of distance, and it seems like in these Cup cars, it is no different. It's the same deal. Starting on the outside is an absolute no-no.
Yeah, and a couple laps ago, the 48 of Max Boost absolutely drove it down inside, underneath the 14, took the lead, and it doesn't look like he's going to want to give it up anytime soon here, as the 88 of Lieutenant Crutch is battling the 43 of Shadowhawk for 3rd place. And he's going to take it, the 43.
I'm impressed with Shadowhawk. You know, he's kind of just hung around the mid-pack all night. Been around a lot of guys going, 2 wide, 3 wide here and there, but he's been able to rise up to the occasion and find his way towards the front, as these front 4 have really kind of distanced themselves from the 2nd pack behind them.
And here is Shadowhawk, and at the moment it looks like he might be a little bit quicker than these first 2 cars in front of him. Is that the draft, or is he just fast?
Could be both. I mean, the draft definitely has a role to play. I mean, with this track, you can definitely pick up a ton of time just by staying in the draft with a fast pack. But, Shadowhawk's got a lot of talent. He's definitely shown that. He won a lot of races, or a couple of races last season. And, showing that he can also be a contender this season. He joined last season kind of in the middle, but now really having a full season in the NARL in the Cup Series. He's able to really showcase his talent and really prove that he also belongs in this playoff race.
All right, and then a little bit farther back, the one of you already heard got shuffled out to the high side. Draven and K-Bart making their way around him for 5th and 6th place, respectively. This 43 Shadowhawk is all over the back bumper of this guy. I mean, you got to assume he's going to make a move here soon. It looks like he's getting just a little bit impatient. When is the time to make the move?
Honestly, to me, if I'm Shadowhawk, I'm just keeping an eye on my fuel. I'm keeping an eye on my tires, and keeping an eye on how many laps are left in the stage. Because
speaking of how many laps left in the stage.
Yeah, that would be a good idea, right? Way to bring that's a good thing to bring up at this point. I'm actually going to get that for you right here. We actually have 31 laps remaining in Stage 2, and these guys have about 19 laps left in their fuel window. So, they're probably going to have to, obviously, split this stage in half. But
and there he goes.
Yep, he's going to go to that inside. He's going to make the move there on Captain Killam in the 14, and he's going to be able to take... Oh, he's able to clear him.
Oh, he cleared him. Wow, what a power move.
That was a power move. He's still able to make that inside lane work, and it looks like he's actually catching boost now, and he's going to... Oh, he almost gets there. But yeah, he's going to fall to 2nd. Stay in that draft, and he's trying to go for the lead early on here in Stage 2.
Swamp Fox is tuned in right now. This might be a confusing sight for him. The 43 so far up there battling for the lead, but
Oh, definitely.
Just go ahead and wipe
And
your
the
eyes a
driver's
little
not
bit. It's
asleep. The
he's
driver is not asleep, so that's
he's
definitely a shocker for
and
that
there
43.
he
And he's going to move to
goes.
the inside.
He makes
He's
the
going to go to
move.
the
Let's
inside
see
of
if it
Max Boost in
sticks.
that lead.
Is it going to stick? He's still side by side. It all depends on where Captain Killam's going to go with the push. He stays up high. Oh, the 48's cleared. Let's see if he dives down to the low lane. And he does. Shuts the door on the 43. But still, what a run so far by the 43.
Definitely, and he kind of, hung Captain Killam, Max boosted out to dry there going into 3. Killam lost all that drafting help from Max Boost, and he was almost able to get enough head of steam to pull past Shadow on the inside, but that just shows you how much the draft matters at this track. Max Boost, even though he was stuck on the outside, that drafting help by Captain Killam was still able, or afforded him the opportunity to hold the lead at the front of this little pack of 4.
All right, well, speaking of pack of 4, that 4th place driver, don't take your eyes off of him. He has a knack of hanging around just long enough to strike at the end. So, I mean, none of these guys are out of it.
Oh, definitely not. I mean, Lieutenant Crunch, he's always the guy who you have to keep an eye on. I think he's just playing conservative. He's patient, just gonna pick a spot when he needs to pick a spot. It's way too early in this stage to be making any dicey moves. And as you just saw with some of these guys going too wide, and it looks like the 43 gets a little bit squirrely there. He's gonna get pushed up to that high lane. Looks like Captain Killam's gonna try to go underneath him here for 2nd place. But even though these guys are going side by side, they're still able to put some distance between them and the pack behind them. Shadowhawk's still going to be able to retain that 2nd position, as you're going to have the 14 of Captain Killam fall right back to 3rd. Looks like he got put to the outside there in turn 3.
Oh, a little bit farther back, we got some mowers back here. Looks like the Knights NARL Lewis through the grass. He's able to save it. That 2 of Kevin trying to battle back. Now he's on the outside. Oh, a little bit too high there. Going to lose a lot of momentum. Who's that? The 4 Draven leading this 2nd pack? Yep, followed by you,
yes,
already heard.
Yep, all these guys are definitely losing ground right now to that front 4. But if they can kind of get themselves aligned and draft and work with each other, they might be able to get themselves back up there, as long as these front 4 are kind of going too wide and racing for 2nd place, as we saw with Shadowhawk and also Captain Killam.
Now, is this one of those tracks where you could team up with somebody else and make up some time, or I mean, I don't know, or is it really just speed?
You're definitely faster in the draft than you are alone, no doubt about it. But honestly, what matters most is basically just having someone, just one. You don't need a carousel of cars or whatnot, or a cartel of cars of like you do at Daytona, to get around the track really quick. Here, maybe get one or two cars with you, and you can.
Oh, there's a battle for the lead up here.
There is.
Shadowhawk is now returning the fire on Max Boost. He's down inside. I'm afraid to switch over. I might lose this battle as the 43's down on the inside there. I mean, it's a pretty good view here. Let's get an even better view. The 48, how is he making that? It's not even like the mid groove. It's like 3/4 of the way up the track. And I mean, he's pulling him on the backstretch.
Yeah, it's unbelievable what Max can do. It just seems like he can find speed where people normally can't, and that's what's so neat to see. You learn a lot from seeing that, because normally when you're running practices or even qualifying, you're like, there's no way I'm going to be able to run the mid lane and be able to still gain on someone on the low lane, and you're seeing it right now that's happening.
That's got to be frustrating for the 43, right?
Oh, definitely. I mean, you've got the position on him. You've put yourself in a position to make this pass on the inside. You've got the preferred line, and you still can't be able. You're unable to clear him. You can't even get to his door. I mean, you're still at his left rear quarter panel, and that's where I think the draft matters, because you see Captain Killam. He's able to use that draft and really give Max that boost. No pun intended. And that's going to allow Max to close the door right back on that 43 again. And so Max is still going to be able to retain the lead, even though they were side by side there for about 2 laps. It's just amazing to see how not only how much the draft helps in those situations, but also
We got
Max
cars on.
Boost being able to find speed
We got,
in areas of the track that you normally can't.
we got cars on pit road. It's the 43. I don't want to flip away from this battle because the 43 is going right back at it with the 48. But you got to think at the same time, Doc, that 43 is burning up his tires right now. So the 48 might be able to stay out another lap or two, where this 43 is going to have to come in soon. His handling's about to go to crap. But let's see who we got on pit road.
We've got the 10 of Mr. Williams. We got the 12 of K-Bart, who are currently on pit road at the moment.
3 Oasis coming off. No, not
the 3 Oasis.
Yeah. No.
K-Bart's now coming off, I believe, and the 43 is once again on the inside lane, still battling. They're still side by side going here for the lead, but now you got 3 cars that are all up high, and so Max is going to be able to still get that drafting help. And it looks like Shadow actually.
I think he's coming down to.
I think both of these guys. I think both Lieutenant Crunch and Captain Killam. All 4 of them.
All four of them. We're going to stay right here and see who wins the battle off of pit road as the Forge Raven comes in right behind him. Earlier we had a B-Ball fan on pit road and TB14. So we're going to stay right here and Captain Kill him and see who wins this race off of pit road. See whose pit crew came to the track in front of no fans.
Yeah, really. But yeah, with this racing that's been going on, man, these four guys, you've got Max Boost, Xfinity champion of Season 1, Lieutenant Crunch.
43 and the 14 is the first one out of the stall, but the 88 had a better choice. The 48 still in his stall. Did the 48 speed?
You wonder what happened. He may have, because he's definitely losing a ton of time on pit road because of this stop. Maybe the jack man lowered the jack and it broke, or maybe a loose tire got somewhere and
the 48 sped on pit road. How the turntables as we got
turntables.
Now we got, is it Ronnie Mack now in the lead? On strategy?
It's Kevin 1.0 and he's actually coming down pit road right now. So
okay. So we'll find out here in a second.
I'll be able to tell you if there's any lead changes here. Kevin 1.0 down pit road.
I think Ronnie Mack might be trying a little bit of strategy, but he's getting 8 up by that 43 of Shadowhawk. He's not going to be in it if he is in the lead. He's not going to be in the lead too much longer.
No, you saw definitely in this stage that these guys weren't afraid to just use up all that they had. Their fuel, their tires, they didn't care. They want to be as fast as they can or run as many fast laps in the stage as possible. And so by tearing their stuff up as quick as possible, they basically short pit. They split the stage in half. As now you have 15 laps remaining in the stage, and the 43 of
Shadowhawk. He made the move around the outside of that 42.
Yep, and he's going to be in the lead at the moment.
There comes Max Boost down, coming down the backstretch. He definitely sped.
Yeah, and that's going to really hurt his chances for stage points now.
So we got Lieutenant Crunch, I'm assuming, is about to pass the 42 for second place. I believe the 42 is on either 2 tires or no tire. I don't know. I think he's on strategy there. This 88 should make quick work of him, and then if he wants to win the stage, he's going to have to go chase down that 43, who's been fast all night long.
Oh, yes. Tell you a guy who's really going to be making up ground right now is that 14 to Captain Killam. He's currently in 4th place, and he's about a second and a half behind Crunch and almost a second behind Ronnie Mack in 3rd, but he's coming quick. So if there was a contender here who can make some noise at the end of the stage with about 13 or 14 laps to go, I'm looking at Captain Killam to get up here and contend for a stage win.
Now, if you're that 43, don't you think that maybe you could take a lap or 2 off, or are you balls to the wall here?
I mean, honestly, I think with there being about 13 laps to go, or 12 laps to go at the moment in stage 2, I'm going balls to the wall. I think just running your line, running smooth, quick laps, not missing your marks, just focusing on every lap as it comes, and racing the track. You know, don't race anybody else. Just focus on your marks, focus on racing the track, and just lay down hot laps. Because if you try to conserve, yeah, you're saving some tires, but at the same time, you're allowing these guys who are going balls to the wall, like Captain Killam right now, who just passed Ronnie Mack for third. They're just going to reel you in that much faster. So you have to definitely keep yourselves or your strategy to be pedal to the metal with about 10 laps left to go.
Yeah, that's something that I learned the hard way in the truck race. The LA, I had a little bit of a lead. I decided it was time for me to save some tires. Well, when I wasn't running my regular line, I ended up messing up more than if I would have just ran my line. Now, Jaw had one caution better tires than me, ran me down. He's fast anyways, don't get me wrong, but ran me down. But once he got to me, it was game over because my mindset was in running slow laps. So I mean, I agree with you. Just keep it going, and that's what it looks like Shadowhawk is doing. Oh, that's a sentence for the highlight reel. Goodness. But Shadowhawk, he's out here. He's turning his hot laps, like you're saying. He's got his sights set on the 10 of Mr. Williams. He might put him a lap down here before the stage ends.
Yeah, he might. Honestly, it's the only thing that Shadowhawk should have on his mind is just don't even think about the stage. Don't even think about the lead. Don't think about anything other than just hitting your marks every single corner. Corner entry is everything. It looks like he's kind of taking that max boost line where he's kind of in that middle groove. But yeah, it'll be it's definitely interesting the strategy that these guys had in stage 2, kind of using up all their equipment right away and then coming down and still just taking the tires, taking the fuel, and being able to run hot laps as much as possible.
All right, so currently as they run, Draven is in that 5th place, that final spot for stage points, but he's under fire from that one machine of you already heard. I mean, if there's going to be a battle on the track here, if it goes green, I think it's going to be right here for 5th. And then they might go up there and get the 20 of B-Ball fan. Unfortunately, that 42 of Ronnie Mack on strategy, I don't think it held up very well. He's fallen back to P7.
Yeah, I think you were right. I think he only probably took right side tires on pit road, and yeah, just as soon as you lose those treads on the left and you start to lose them quick on the right, even after coming off of pit road, you just lose so much grip, you lose so much speed, and I saw that he ended up going to the outside, and it allowed Joe, B-Ball fan, I believe a couple others to get past him on the inside lane, and he just didn't have any speed left in the car. So,
all right, how many laps to go do we have?
Right now at the moment we have 5 to go.
Oh, so it's coming down to it. These guys running in the top 5, they know that every pass that they make now is another stage point that they could pocket in their playoff standings. Well, race to the playoffs. For Draven, he's all over the back bumper of the 20. He might try to make a move on B-Ball fan before this is all over with. 4 to go here in stage 2.
Yeah. And it looks like Shadowhawk's going to be able to make that move on Mr. Williams there, put him a lap down, but not to worry for Mr. Williams. It looks like the stage is going to be coming to an end in 4 laps, so he should be able to get that lap back.
All right, so a lot of racing left here. He's going to have to come down pit road and make some adjustments to better suit his car. Now, Mr. Williams in that 10 Ford Mustang is only his 2nd race with the wheel. He went out and purchased the wheel in the off-season. It came in about a week or so ago, so he hasn't had much time on it. It'll be a little bit of a learning curve for him throughout the season. I expect him to get better as the season goes on. That's the 4 and the 20 are up here battling it out. We have 3 to go in stage 2. Looks like the 20 knows that the stage is almost over. Just don't let that 4 pass you.
Do everything you can. Oh, it looks like he got a little bit of contact in the back bumper.
The 4 Draven held that line all the way off on the exit of 4, which gave him a little bit of inside to that 20, and the 20 immediately shut the door. As we have, is it 2?
At the moment, I believe there is going to be 2 to go.
2 to go. We were counting that, I forgot. Yeah, me. Gonna make a move underneath the 20. They're even coming, heading to the start-finish line with 1 to go. We got cars side by side for P4. Remember, every point counts. This is not just something, for bragging rights. This is a playoff, well, not a playoff point, excuse me. Standings, regular season standings point on the line. Bonus points as the 4 clears the 20, and he knows it. Let's see if the 20 tries to make a move back going into turn 3. He's just going to stay right
to him.
a little bit of the bumper, and the 4 is going to close the door, stay down on the inside line as we have Shadowhawk, your stage 2 winner.
Man, that's very impressive by Shadowhawk. After the way those the pit strategy cycled out, it just seemed like he had so much ground that was made up, or he made so much ground on the rest of the field. Obviously, max boost, having that speeding penalty, helped him, but even just the distance he was able to get on Crunch, on Killam, it was definitely interesting to see him be able to really establish that big of a lead after those pits or pit calls. But yeah, right now it looks like Shadowhawk's going to take that stage 2 win, and the 88 of Lieutenant Crunch coming in second, the 14 of Captain Killam in third, and then was it the 4 of Draven in fourth, and then to round out the top 5 was I believe that's Kansas University or Kentucky University. No, it's got to be Kansas because it's KU. B-ball fan rounding out the top 5.
Yeah, and don't look now, Mr. Reliable in that 88 Chevrolet Camaro starting on the outside. The final stage here in Atlanta for the Folds of Honor. Quick Trip 500. The Season 1 champion, Lieutenant Crunch, found his way up here to the front, finishing second in stage 2. Currently battling on the outside, but we all know the inside is the preferred lane around here. Yeah, especially on restarts.
That's a spitting image of you and I in our truck series here a couple of nights ago. Just getting pinned to the outside and that entire inside freight training you.
Yeah, and look at the 2 of Kevin 1.0. He's up here now battling, trying to take second place away from our Stage 2 winner. He shoved the 14 all the way through that restart and then past the 43. I think this 2 of Kevin's on a mission, as he's now looking inside the 14. He's not there. It looked like he was there from my view.
He will be. He will be, because Crunch is going to go and give him the bumper. He's going to be able to get to the inside, and he might be able to get underneath that quarter panel.
Maybe on exit. Oh, don't mess it up, Kevin. He's there. They're side by side. Cross the start-finish line. I don't even know who led that lap, but Kevin's got the third lane down on the bottom. He's going to take the lead away from the 14 of Captain Killam.
He is. He's going to be able to clear him, and he's going to slide up the track and get right in front of that
slide job.
That was a little bit of a slide job. Yeah, you're not kidding.
Oh, here comes the 14. They're battling back here. Teammates, no love lost going into 3. The 14 and the 2 are side by side as the 43 gets washed up the track. It looks like the 14 is going to lead another lap here at Atlanta.
Yeah, definitely. And that too, being on the outside now and having the 43 get washed up the track, it looks like there was a little, I don't know if there was a little bit of contact between he and the 88 of Lieutenant Crunch, but that really hurt Kevin 1.0's momentum going into 3 and allowed for Killam to take the lead.
And that too, I'm telling you, he's shoving that 14 up the track every chance that he gets. I'm not sure if they're in the same chat party. Yeah, there he goes. But once again, I mentioned it earlier, here comes the Mr. Reliable in that 88 machine. Well, as the 4 of Draven dives down below him, he's going to try to take away P2 from the 88. And Joe back in the hunt. He's currently running P4 or 5, wherever they shuffle at this second. Oh, are they going to take it 3 wide? I thought he was going to take it 3 wide. They thought better of it, and here they come. Draven still on the inside of that 88, but the 88 might have took some notes on some of these guys earlier in the race. He's making that high side work.
Yeah, he definitely is.
He's hanging with him.
Yeah, he is, and you got Kevin 1.0 behind him. That draft is allowing that 88 to make that move and to stay up there. You're even seeing Killam, our leader, kind of hold that middle lane. Just now he's actually going to come down to the bottom, but yeah, unfortunately now with Kevin 1.0, that 2 is gonna now fall. This inside lane looks like they're kind of squared up here.
Oh, and here comes the 4 inside of the 14. We'll see if he can't make this pass coming out of 2. He's almost clear. He's not clear. The 14's still there. The 88's pushing the holy mess out of him. And there goes the 4 to the lead.
14 doesn't have any help on that outside. Kevin 1.0 is a little bit too far back. And that's also going to allow Crunch, it looks like, to get side by side with Killam. He might be able to take over that second spot.
And don't look now, here comes Joe battling. He's battling for P3. Now we know he's fast just about everywhere he goes. So, I mean, you can never count him out. And once he gets a little bit of gumption under him, watch out. He's fast.
Man, how about this racing right now? You know, we're seeing so many different lead changes, seeing so many different lines right now going throughout the track, and everybody's clean. Everybody's, you know, just doing their thing. You know, it's definitely fun to see this.
Yeah,
especially at a track like this in Atlanta.
Yeah, the crowd's going to love it Sunday at Atlanta when they pile into the stands to watch the Cup guys go at it at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, I'm just glad that, you know, because of all that's going on, you know, there's no fans in attendance for this race. So people learned at Daytona that Gator Mike is a problem. And, you know, he's definitely a liability on the track and definitely off of it, as we saw at Daytona. And so fans definitely took note of that, and they decided to watch tonight's race at the in the safety of their own home or homes on their couches. But they were getting a great race here, and it looks like Draven here is able to still maintain the lead with Crunch behind him. Joe in the 1, making his way back up to 3rd. The 43 of Shadowhawk has been very strong tonight in 4th. And the 20 of KU B-Ball fan, he's worked his way back up to the front. But,
all right, Doc, so let's tie the whole coronavirus thing in with Gator Mike, since we just talked about both of them. Look,
oh, sure, why not? I'm ready for this one.
So look, the coronavirus is coming. Everybody's running out. They're grabbing bottles of water. They're grabbing toilet paper, all that other good stuff. But the sponsor for the 32 Ford Mustang, Dude Wipes. How much?
Yeah.
How much do you think their stock goes up in the next couple weeks?
I guarantee you, Gator's got a whole truckload right now in his driveway. He's definitely been stocking up on those Dude Wipes for his significant other. But,
you know, if there was a driver that uses Dude Wipes, it would be Gator Mike, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine so. Marksman would use something different. But we're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into that. I heard that Marksman actually went to the store and there wasn't any of his kind. So,
no!
It looks like contact. We're going 3 wide for the lead, and we're going to have to put a pause on Dude Wipes.
Yeah, we got a lot going on up here.
The 88.
And there goes the 43. He's going to power past the 88. And here comes the 48 of Max Boost with that speeding penalty in stage 2. He's battling back now. He's all over the back bumper of the 43. And I'm sure he remembers that battle that him and the 43 had in stage 2. And he's not going to cut him any breaks here in stage 3 as I cycle through to get to the lead.
Not at all. And both. Contact between Draven and Joe.
And around goes somebody.
The 4.
The 4.
Draven.
Oh, the 4's got to be so upset. That's the 3rd time he's been involved in an accident here tonight.
Yeah,
no caution.
No, unfortunately, it's a one car accident or one car incident, and you got to think, you know, Draven being as good as he is and having such a good showing tonight, trying to rebound from the adversity he's faced in those first 2 accidents, that he's not too happy. But in the front right now, once again, Shadowhawk leading this pack. Max Boost out of nowhere came back. I believe he was running 6th a few laps ago. He's made his way up to P2. And then also, you've got the... who is this here?
The 19 of NR Lewis
19.
Making an appearance in the top 3. I guess he's like fine wine. He gets better as it gets old, as the race goes on, huh?
Yeah, man. Lewis, definitely another guy who's been very patient tonight, kind of hanging out in the middle of the pack. He was in that second pack earlier in stage 1 and stage 2. But, you know, him and Cavart in the 12 even, both of these guys finding their way up to the front of the field. And unfortunately, you know, for Joe and you already heard, or Draven in the 4, you know, some of these mistakes that they made early on, and it looks like also Lieutenant Crunch got caught up in a little bit of it as well, getting pushed to the high lane and getting shuffled back. You all these guys taking advantage of those mishaps and
Oh, there
putting
goes Max
themselves in
Boost.
position. Yeah, Max is going to go on the inside, and if you thought he was fast in that mid lane, can't imagine how fast he is on that inside lane, especially with Lewis behind him. And Lewis, if he stays where he's at, he's going to be able to take away second place away from Shadowhawk.
Oh, he thought
as
about
Shadow
taking it
looks
3 wide there.
Yeah, he did, and unfortunately, it looks like he got his car may have got a little tight, or maybe got a little loose. I couldn't really see what happened.
I think he checked up there smartly so to not try to force anything and cause an accident. Smart veteran move by our Cup Series rookie driving that 19 Toyota Camry.
Yeah, it's going to allow Shadow to take advantage of that and fall right back into P2. K-Bart looks like he actually also gave a little bit.
And there he goes.
Yep.
The 19.
Lewis back to the inside.
See, that's how you race. You see that you can dive it in there and cause an accident, but you don't. You recollect yourself, get it nice and aimed up, and then once the move presents it, Lewis to P2.
Yeah,
I hope don't hit him with the commentator curse.
Yeah, I hope not either. But yeah, Shadow in that 43, with all these guys kind of getting organized on the bottom, he's losing so much time on that high lane. It looks like there's a little contact between the 12 of K-Bar and the 43 of Shadowhawk.
12 got in the apron a little bit. The 14 got into the 20, which collects the 88.
Yeah, both of them going to the inside wall.
And he's doing donuts on the backstretch, and not the good kind.
Yeah, that's going to really hurt the front end of Lieutenant Crunch in the 88. He probably will have to come down pit road. I'm sure he's got a heated engine.
The 20. 20 just dove down pit road. He was going like 200 miles an hour.
Yeah,
ain't no way he made that.
Yeah, B-Ball fan is also probably pretty hot right now with what just transpired there on the backstretch. And I would imagine both of those guys are going to have to make pit stops that were not foreseen.
Got a little dicey racing going on back here between the 43, the 42, the 1, and the 14. They're all trying to be respectful to each other, but it's getting a little aggressive.
Yeah, all these guys want to get that track position. All these guys want to put themselves in a position for that first string of pit stops in this final stage to be able to get that track position late in the race to contend for the win. But after racing in these packs and getting freight trained on the outside, or bumping and banging and having to check up for people, it can definitely get frustrating. And this is a point in the race where you start to really lose your patience when you're racing around the same guys over and over and over again, and if they're not cutting you the same breaks you're giving them.
Well, the 88's going down pit road. The 20's finally making his way off. I'm not sure if that's with a penalty or not, but it feels like he's 2 laps down now. How many laps to go do we have in the race?
I'm going to have to give you that information here shortly. Yeah, unfortunately for the 88 of Lieutenant Crunch, I think that front-end damage just really killed his opportunity in this race to have a good finish. Hopefully he can be able to make up some ground, but with 52 laps remaining in the race, it's definitely possible. But still, it looks like the 43 gets in the wall there, and that's going to allow the 42 of Ronnie Mack to get to the outside there for position 3, and he's going to be able to clear him going into 3. The one of you already heard's also on the outside with K-Bart in 12, and all of them are going to be able to pass that 43, so he's going to make his way down pit road for an early pit stop.
Can you see where they're at on fuel and tires? Is Kevin on that page?
I think everybody's going to have to come down for fuel and tires probably within the next 2 laps anyway. Now that I'm looking at this, they got about 15% on the right sides and only about 4 laps left to go in their tank before they're running on empty. So actually it looks like that contact with...
Oh, the 1 comes down, the 12 comes down.
Yeah, I would imagine these guys are probably going to come down within this lap or the next lap. So actually that contact might not hurt Crunch that bad. He's not going to lose that much ground being able to pit that early because all the leaders are now having to cut down.
Yeah, but if they're coming down repairing that damage, that's just added seconds on the pit stop.
That is true. That is true, and it is unfortunate. But hopefully these guys can get a late caution or whatnot, get themselves a lap back or make up that ground that they lost on that extended pit stop. And we got a car actually through the grass in the front stretch. Not sure who that is.
Is that the Ford Draven?
It might be, yeah. The Ford Draven just running low on the inside at an incredibly slow speed. Not really sure what's going on with him.
Hit the
What's
9 and the
happening?
2 coming off pit road. The 12 and the 1
He
coming
may
off pit road.
did he blow a tire? He may have blown a tire because he's just
Oh, he's stuck.
he is
He's
stuck
ghosted.
on this. Yeah, not
Oh, Drake.
necessarily. I don't know what's going on with him. But
That would be
unfortunately,
the time
Draven's
if we had
not
an
having.
in-car audio on that Ford Mustang.
Oh, you gotta love it. Unfortunately for him, you don't like to see a guy, if none of his doing, with the position he's in right now in this race, doesn't really speak towards the talent that he has, because he's had plenty of success in this league.
Oh, in the
But he
meantime,
just
Captain
needs
Kilm's on pit road. TB14's on pit road. Mr. Williams, Gator Mike, the
Ronnie Mack.
48, the 19.
Ronnie Mack is on pit road in that 42.
I think
as
they
well.
fixed that glitch, but I sure hope that 10-car computer hitting them didn't mess them up. Up, and there we go. Oh, they're coming off side by side off pit lane.
Yeah, 48's going to be able to get that drive off on the 19 of NR Lewis.
Wow,
Looks
so
like
they
he's
come
taking
out
the lead
exactly how they came in. My goodness.
Definitely. Everybody, all the pit crews did what they had to do. Oh, yeah, they're going to come up on the track.
Oh, here comes
the
the
42
88
is
Lieutenant
spinning it
Crutch.
out on the apron. The 42 is around, coming off of 2, coming off of pit road.
There goes the 88 Lieutenant Crunch. He's going to take the lead at least momentarily. No caution still.
Wait, is he going to take the lead? I don't know if it's for the lead or if that's just for him to get his...
Oh,
his
yeah,
lap
excuse
back
me.
into that
Yeah,
damage.
you're right. He did. Yeah, he did get damaged. Apologies.
But yeah, that 19 of NR Lewis definitely hanging strong with the 48 of Max Boost. These guys definitely had a good history in the Xfinity series last season. Both of them are very knowledgeable of each other's racing capabilities and probably strategies. But behind them we got the 43 of Shadowhawk, who ended up pitting, I believe, a couple laps earlier after getting pushed to that high side out of 3 into the wall. He came down pit road. And it looks like he's going to be able to stay in that 3rd spot. And hopefully, if he can catch the draft of that 19 of NR Lewis, he might be able to contend here for the lead.
Before Draven's just now making his way off of pit road. You got to think, unless they get a string of 4 or 5 cautions, his chances of winning tonight are slim to none.
Yeah, he's had a rough go. A lot of things have happened to him tonight that, like I said earlier, he couldn't really control. It was just on the wrong place at the wrong time, and unfortunately, he took basically all of the issues tonight were placed upon that 4 car. So
Now look at NR Lewis. Not only is he keeping up with Max Boost, but he's pushing Max Boost around this track. Now the 43 looks like he's making up just a little bit of time, but if these guys up here can stay pretty well hooked up and not race each other here early on, they should pull away again like we saw before they all pit. But NR Lewis with an aggressive run. Right then he could have dove it in there, but he decided to take it conservative.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, both of these guys right now, you saw that with the draft between the 48 and you saw that with the 19, that these guys are starting to put a little bit of distance, it looks like, on the rest of the guys behind them. Looked like Shadowhawk was going to be able to catch up to him, but with both of these two kind of tandem drafting, as long as they stick with each other, they might be able to put enough distance where it becomes just a 2-horse race, barring any cautions, where it just comes down to pit strategy. I would imagine these guys probably have one more pit stop before the checkered flag, so we'll have to see how it plays out. But yeah, both of these guys, the 48 of Max Boost and the 19 of NR Lewis, a couple of Xfinity guys last season showing what they have here in the Cup Series.
Yeah, and then running P3, just like you had already mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Shadowhawk, he only joined, halfway through the season last year? So, I mean, I guess he could be considered a rookie as well. So we got 3 Cup Series rookies. NARL Cup Series rookies. Let me clarify, because there's a lot of experience between these 3 guys. But 3 Cup Series rookies up here running P1 through 3.
Yeah, especially after seeing, like Captain Killam early on, Draven early on, Joe, you already heard in the 1 early on. All these guys just seasoned vets. Even Lieutenant Crunch in the 88. All these guys have been up front for the majority of this race, and now you're starting to see some young guns up in the front of the field, and it's exciting to see. These guys using their strategies and staying out of danger, staying out of trouble, to put themselves in a position to finish this race in a good standing.
How many laps do we have left in the race?
probably tell you that in about 30 seconds.
No problem. You already heard back here battling with the 12 of K-Bart. Right behind that 43 of Shadowhawk. So this is for P4 and P5. Now that 88 that you see on the screen, he is at least one lap down. He was involved in a single car incident, a lot of damage, had to come down and repair that. Lost a lot of time on pit road. We have that lap count.
Yeah, there's still a decent amount of laps left in this race. They got about 40 to go, 39 to go now at the line. And so they're still going to have to make another pit stop. And, you know, these guys at the front of the field, you never know what could happen. There could be a caution, a late caution. Someone could make a mistake on pit road. Max Boost hopefully learned from that earlier mishap by speeding on pit road.
In the meantime, back here and forth, we got some excellent racing going on. The 12 of K-Bart gets underneath the 1 of Joe going into turns 1 and 2. Now Joe crosses him over coming out of 2, down the backstretch, gets the preferred line, and then passes him back at 3 and 4. What moves? What lap by these two? Dance going on.
Yeah, they're dancing. Joe is Joe's a dancer, and you know, I'm wondering if Gator Mike's gonna get up there too and show off his dude wipes.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah. So.
You mean this car right here?
that one right there with the silver wheels. You know, those things were shined with those dude wipes.
They probably were.
I bet they were. But yeah, still the battle for the lead. I mean, the 19 of NR Lewis and the 48 of Max Boost. That 19 is not letting that 48 off the hook. He is still just right up against his bumper going down the backstretch. But they're putting some considerable distance on everybody else behind them. At this point, these two guys, they just got to be patient with each other. As long as they work together, as long as they keep their tandem draft. That 43 behind him is Shadowhawk. He's just losing more and more time because he doesn't have any drafting help. He's in no man's land back here.
Yeah, this 48 and the 19 are loving every second that they're just staying behind each other. And you got to think, you know, 19 of NR Lewis could have made the move a few different times, but by staying behind the 48, not only is he saving tires, but I don't know where their fuel is at this moment, but he's also saving a lap or two of fuel. He might be able to try a different strategy than the Max Boost, depending on where they come out here. But really smart move by both of these guys because they see once they're up there playing nice with each other that they're gapping third place. So why make the move now? You still got, what, 40 laps you said? So why make the move now? As long as you're staying with the 48, he's not driving away from you. As the 19 missed the corner there, but he should suck right back up. Real smart, crafty, veteran moves from the Cup Series rookies.
Yeah, as they come up here to 34 to go on this final stage, you see back in the pack between 4th through 6th with, you already heard, in the 1, the 12 of K-Bart, and the 88 of Lieutenant Crunch. Not really sure exactly where Lieutenant Crunch is as far as position, but these guys are just using the draft to try to catch up to that 43 of Shadowhawk, and hopefully that group of 4 can make themselves relevant back in this race. They can get themselves back up to those front two and contend for the win. But right now, we got the 20 of B-Ball Fan. KU B-Ball Fan is actually down pit road right now. He's pitting, and nobody else came down with him. So we'll have to see how this shakes out.
And now there's still about, 32 laps, up to 32 laps to go here. That's a long time at Atlanta. That'll shred through a whole set of tires. Shoot, I don't even think you could make it 30 laps on a pit stop. So, I mean, anything can happen here. I mean, one caution, and then this race is just going to get hectic.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. These guys, I would imagine, they might have to pit twice in this final stage. Because right now, you know, with about 32 laps left to go, about 31 laps to go in this stage. It looks like Killam actually caught the wall back here, but yeah, these guys, their tires, the right sides, are just getting torn up, and that's also where the draft helps. You know, the draft can help if you get a guy to work with, and you got a crazy lead right now, like Max Boost and also NR Lewis have on the rest of the field. You know, these guys can kind of lay back a little bit. You know, we talked about this earlier, how when you were leading in the Truck Series race, you kind of let off a little bit, and it came back to bite you. Mm-hmm. Well, in this case, when you got a partner, and you know that the guy behind you doesn't have any drafting help for basically an entire corner behind him. I mean, I'm sure they can't probably see it, but they probably see it in their in their time indicator that they have. These guys might be able to use that high lane a little bit more effectively. They may be able to use their draft to their advantage to save a little bit more, so they don't have to wait for a full tank of fuel. They may only have to take a tank and a half or just a tank of fuel to save them time on pit road, to give them the best chance of staying on the track and get back on the track quicker.
Now, does K-Bart have his tire wear up on his screen, or is he looking at something else?
Right now, I'm looking at Kill 'em stream, and he's actually got about. I'm not really sure because it's going to vary between driver to driver, obviously on strategy call. But right now, he's got about 25% on his right front, 38% on his right rear, and then about an average of about 50% on his lefts. So I would imagine that he's going to have to come down. He's got about 8 laps left in his fuel tank. So he'll probably come down, I would imagine, within like 4 or 5 laps.
Okay, so that'll put him in their fuel winner to end the race, right? So we should be good with 1 to go. With 24 laps to fuel?
Yeah, and actually we have Lieutenant Crunch in that 88 coming down pit road right now.
Ooh, that might be too early.
It might be. Yeah, he had to break off. He also had to pit earlier because of that damage to the front end. So maybe he actually, I would imagine, didn't have enough fuel left. He had to come down to put some fuel in the tank to get him through these remaining laps. Hopefully, he's hoping on a caution so he can actually get a couple caution laps to save him a few laps on fuel. But yeah, it's going to be tough sledding for that 88 throughout the rest of this race.
12 K-Barts underneath the 1 of you already heard 3 wide there for a second as the 20, who was on a lot better tires, shoots the gap underneath both of these guys. And he's got to go. He's got fresher tires. He needs to use them while they're fresh. But the 12 of K-Bart makes it the P4, past you already heard. All right, so we're coming down to it. The 43's on pit road now. He was running P3. The 88's now just coming off of pit road, so he may have been in his pit cycle. I think that 43 might be short pitting here a little bit. I don't think it's the optimal range, but maybe he's trying a little bit of strategy.
Yeah, he might be. He might just try to pit early, try to make this work. But also he did pit
Mr. Williams, he just about crashed coming on pit road. Sorry, he would have took out the leaders.
If you remember, the 43 actually pit before both Max Boost and the 19 of NR Lewis earlier, when he got pushed to the outside there, when he relinquished the lead on the outside. He actually came down, and then these guys followed down pit road about like 2 laps later. So, maybe his fuel window was coming to a close, and he had to jump down pit road.
Yeah, he probably didn't have any other choice. It looks like, besides the 10 of Mr. Williams, we don't have any other takers on pit road. Oh, now here comes the 12. Here comes the 1. The 2's crashing on pit road. The 2 and the 3. Not a big wreck, but they crashed coming down to pit road. No caution. The 3 is, I don't know what he's doing. He's got it in reverse.
That's going to kill both of their chances in this race. And then you got to think of how much damage was taken by both of those guys. Yeah, that's going to really hurt their chances to have a good finish tonight. They're going to hope and pray for a caution here late in the stage.
What happened with the 2 there? I don't think the computer caught the 2. I think he came down pit road and the computer didn't catch him.
No, so that's going to really hurt Kevin 1.0. He's probably going to have to come back down pit road to actually make his scheduled pit stop.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for him. You got to think his race is over unless we get 2 or 3 more cautions. The 48 and the 19 both come down at the same time. The 2 coming behind him, but we're going to stay right here and see who wins this battle off pit road, either the 48 of Max Boost or the 19 of NR Lewis.
Both of these guys have raced this race incredibly well on strategy, pit strategy calls, even on the track, staying in the draft, working with each other. I'm really impressed with that 19 of NR Lewis tonight. He's really showing his ability to be a contender in this Cup Series coming up, as we talked about earlier, from the Xfinity Series in Season 1. He's hanging right there with one of the best guys in the game in Max Boost. And,
Max Boost is the first out of his stall. The 19 not too far behind him. But with Max Boost already being out in front and being the first out of his stall, that gap pit road is huge because you can get into the gas a little bit earlier. Looks like NR Lewis is going to have a second and a half to make up on Max Boost here if he wants to get back to his bumper.
Yeah,
maybe even
that pit
two
stop is
seconds.
really going to hurt NR Lewis, because if NR Lewis is going to lose the draft entirely, he's got to get this pack right in front of him. He's got to catch the draft of those guys and be able to use them to basically slingshot his way back up to boost while he doesn't have any drafting help.
So that's Shadowhawk now to P2, correct?
I believe so, yeah. Shadowhawk pitting up, I believe, a couple laps earlier. Now it's going to be interesting to see if his fuel is going to hold out, because he did pit earlier in this final stage. But yeah, he's actually stalking max boost, and he made up a ton of ground on pit road if that's the case. If he's in P2, he was seconds back of both him and of max boost and NR Lewis. And now he's got the 10 of Williams right in front of him. He's using him as a drafting partner to get himself back up into contention.
I think Lewis has got the draft of those two guys in front of him.
Yeah,
If so, he can connect with that 43 of Shadowhawk and make his way back up there to max boost. This might be an interesting finish here. We got the 22 of TB merging up the track. Sorry about that.
Max, as long as he's holding his line, he's going to be fast. But we've been talking about the draft all night, talking about its significance here and what it means as far as lap times are concerned.
Oh, the 19 makes quick work of the 10 of Mr. Williams, and now he's right on the back bumper of the 43. Now the 19's got about 2 laps fresher tires than this 43. Now the 22, unless he tried some kind of crazy strategy, is not for position here. So let me circle around.
And the 22 just gets out of the way as he should.
There we go. So the 19 and the 43 are hooked up. Don't look now. We might have a little bit of a battle here before this is all over.
And what a call by that 43. I'm just hoping he's got enough left in the tank. I'm hoping he's got enough to make it to the finish, because if he does, not only what a call on pit road to put himself back into this thing, but on top of it, all three of these guys have really raced this race well. When it comes to strategy calls, I talked about it earlier. They've kept themselves out of trouble, kept themselves out of danger, and they've stayed within the draft and raced each other clean. But yeah, the 19 and the 43, they're their best friends right now, because they see that 48 up there and they're just licking their chops. They're like, man, come on, we got to run them down. We got to stay in the draft. We got to,
there we go. Yeah, I was going to say, as weird as it sounds, if I'm the 43, you got to let that 19 in front of you. Because the 19 for once on fresher tires. And so if you're the 43, you could keep up easier if you're in the draft compared to if you're trying to lead the way around here on older tires. Lewis is obviously faster at this point in the race. I mean, I don't know. I don't think the 43 is a fierce competitor. I don't think he's going to just let the 19 go by, but if they really want to catch him, there he goes. I think he's letting him. Maybe. I don't know what's going on.
I don't either. I mean, yeah, you got to, like you said, if you're Shadow, there's got to be a way to motion to NR Lewis that, hey, man, go in front of me, let me draft you, and we'll catch this guy, because I'm only holding us up. I'm only with these more worn tires. Yeah, you got the draft, but we're
I think the 43's driving too defensive right now. I don't think he's got on his mind to draft up there. It looks like Lewis is just content with just pushing his bumper in, but it looks like Shadowhawk might be driving a little bit too defensive here to really take advantage of that draft, which is unfortunate. Because how many laps do we have to go in this race?
Yeah, because Max Boost right now, it doesn't really look like they're gaining. It looks like Max is putting more distance between them. And I believe, oh crap, I missed it. I want to say there's less than 20 laps to go. I know that much.
Yeah, so these guys got to get it together here. And look at the 43 driving that defensive line down the backstretch. I think right now he's just content with P2, just finishing P2 at the moment.
Yeah, he is, but if you're NR Lewis, you got to be furious. You got to be thinking, man, dude, come on, just let me past you. We can catch these guys. As there's 14 laps, well, now 13 laps, I believe, to go in this race. Now, 13 laps, if they don't figure this out quick, Max is just going to drive away, and he's going to get back-to-back victories at Atlanta Motor Speedway in two different series.
That Max Boost has already driven away. I think these guys back here jockeying for position has caused that gap to just grow, as we now have. And our Lewis, he's trying to make something happen now. He's done with it. He's all over the track. He's like, just let me go. The 43 is still going to run that defensive line into one. Lewis puts a little bit of bumper to him. Or maybe not. Maybe he's just right up on it. Look at that car control by the 19.
Yeah, but now the 43 cutting across his nose a little bit. You know, Shadow at this point, he's thinking there's about 10 laps to go in the race. I just gotta, like you said, hold my position. I'm content with second place. It's a good finish. I had a good run tonight. I've raced well tonight. But if you're Lewis, you're like, man, dude, I know I could contend with that 48. I've been at his back bumper basically this entire final stage.
Oh, he drives it deep into one on the outside.
Yeah,
it's not going to quite work, but Lewis is trying everything to get around this 43. He's fed up with him as we come around to what is it 10 to go at the line?
Believe so. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's all good.
Unfortunately, I don't have the timing of my lap count is unfortunately.
Well, I may have been asking at the wrong time. Yeah.
No, you're fine. 10 to go.
10 to go. Only 10 laps left in the race here tonight. And, I mean, really the battle here is for second place. As NR Lewis is all over the back bumper of this 43 of Shadowhawk as they come down the backstretch. We're only going to have 9 laps to go at the line. I mean, this is about to get serious. And you got to think NR Lewis's patience is going to run very thin, very fast here. Oh, he's going to go to the outside. Oh, he caught the bumper. He had a run. He could have took it. 9 to go here in the race. And Max Boost is checked out. He's getting his mail shipped to a whole different zip code.
Yeah, he's on a different planet at this point. You know, the rocket ship has already taken off with the guys behind him in a quarrel for second place. Even without even drafting help, he's still able to pull away because of the battle for second. And you know, he's just running pace laps at this point. He's just running qualifying laps.
8 to go.
Just trying to. Yeah, as we have 8 to go left in the race, but yeah, if you're NR Lewis, you gotta be thinking, man, I had this race. I was so close to a win. I was so close to contending for a win, and now because of jockeying for,
he's got to run. He's going to block him down the backstretch again.
Yeah, he is. The 43 Shadowhawk is absolutely just shutting the door on him, and the 19's gonna give him the bumper there coming out of 4.
We might get the caution that we need.
You might. You know, both of these guys. The 19's fed up. The 19 is definitely getting frustrated.
Yeah, we got 7 laps to go here, and this might be the where the caution originates from, if there's going to be one. These guys are getting sick and tired of each other. Looks like we got a car on the apron up there too. I'm gonna stay on 19. I don't want to lose the battle.
Yeah, I'm gonna be with you here.
Oh, it's the 22 TB. He's coming down pit road.
Yeah, that 19's going to make his way to the outside. He's going to try to make a pass as they're about door to door going into 1. But unfortunately, the outside lane isn't as fast as the inside. 43 is still going to be able to get the driver off the corner.
Will he cross him over?
Clear him.
Yeah. Watch the defense. Watch the block.
Yep, there it is.
Now he's driving that.
He's
driving that defensive line going 3. You got to think he's going to float up off the line, and maybe Lewis can stick the bumper in. He wasn't quite there.
43 is still able to hold that bottom, even coming out of 4. He's as he goes into the turn, he's able to hold the bottom and hold the bottom coming off the corner. So if the 19's going to pass that 43, he's got to hope that the 43, one, either wastes his right sides up by doing this defensive line, or racing this defensive line, or 2, he's just got to hope that the car in front of him, if he can get some drafting help, to really kind of pull him past this 43 on the outside.
All right, I've been paying attention to this battle. I've lost track of the lap count, so whenever you can, please give us how many laps to go. 4 to go. All right, so that's it. Now, at this point, all bets are off. You're not going to catch the 48. Now, if you're the 43, feel free to run a defensive line. I mean, they're battling for second place at this point. The 48's gone. But we'll see how much that 19 is going to put up with them as we come back to 3 to go at the line. And they're going to have to navigate around this lap car of the 3 of Wasted up here.
Yeah, the 3 of Wasted is definitely going to be the 19's best friend here. He's going to have to use him to his advantage. Actually, no, it might be the best friend of the 43, because if he's slow on the outside, it'll slow up the 19. But if the 19 can get a run, depending on where he catches Wasted in that 3 car on this track, he might be able to use Wasted as a drafting partner to propel him past the 43 on that inside line.
All right, now Lewis and Wasted are FBGM teammates. I wonder if they're on the radio, give them the old Michael Waltrip Racing okie doke, as we got 2 laps to go here in Atlanta.
Yeah, you really wonder what's going on in the headsets. You know, there's a lot of guys I wish we had racing electronics for tonight. Draven being one of them.
Oh,
NR Lewis right now being another one. I'd like to hear in that or hear the commentating tonight on the mics. With,
oh man, when I
the
have to
demonstrations and
bump up the rating to what is it, MTV M17 or whatever the heck it is.
hell, man, you might as well put Dangles on the show because I'm sure it's not going to be rated PG for sure.
All right, well, one lap to go here as Max Boost is absolutely checked out on the field. We've got a battle here for second. The 43 of Shadowhawk currently in second place. Coming up on the lap car of the 3 of Wasted. NR Lewis has red road behind the 43 for the past 10 laps or so. You know, his patience is gone. This is the last turn if he's going to want to make something happen. Tries a little bit of something to the outside. That's not going to work. It looks like Shadowhawk's going to take it home. P2 with Max Boost winning the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500 at Atlanta.
Yeah, what a race by Boost. You know, that 48, being patient. You know, you had a lot of guys, a lot of contenders early on in this race. You had Joe in the 1, you had the 88 of Crunch, Raven. Shadowhawk in the 43 led a little bit here too. He led some laps and was strong early on. But that 48 was just patient. He picked his spot, you know, kind of rode 5th, 6th for the longest time, made his way up to the top 3 a little bit, raced for the lead. But in the end, that last pit stop really put him in the primetime position to take home the dub tonight. I'm not necessarily certain what happened or what he did, but that's definitely the question I'm going to have for him is, you know, how was he able to make up that much ground on that 19 out of pit road? Because that was definitely impressive.
It's your party. Do you have him on your friends list, or do I need to suggest him? Okay, cool.
I do, and actually I will add him because I know.
Awesome. The whole blue screen thing we were trying to fix. We're learning as we go. We've already got the music off. We're showing the legal stuff, and then now we've got Doc inviting the race winners and whatnot. We're trying to make the broadcast better, a little bit of better viewing pleasure for our viewers. That was a crazy race, man. That was insane. It got strung out there in stage 3, which is not necessarily a bad thing. That means we had some nice, clean, long racing. But stage 1 and stage 2 were insane. Now, stage 1 started out with a caution on the first lap. They got 3/4 of a way through the first lap, and a caution came out, and I said, uh-oh. And then the second caution came out with 5 laps into stage 1. And I was like, oh no, here we go. Now I could take shots back at the Cup guys because they've been talking junk to the Truck Series the whole time. But then they really smoothed it out. They, you know, started getting a little bit patient, started learning each other a little bit. It was still great racing, don't get me wrong. We had side-by-side racing all over the track, but it wasn't quite the stuff that we saw cause cautions there early in stage 1. Is that invite sent, or are we just waiting on him?
He has now joined our party.
And there he is, the race winner at Atlanta, Max Boost. You won here in Xfinity last year, and now you've won your first, well, points-paying North American eRacing Cup Series win. Max, how you feeling?
Pretty good, guys. I wasn't expecting to pull away from NR Lewis there at the end. He was on me for that whole middle run and was bad fast. So, I mean, I'm just happy to be here in Victory Lane.
I hear you. So, Doc, I think that's part of his question, so I'll leave that alone. I'll kind of hint on an embarrassing moment, a rare mishap for Max Boost in that 48 machine, speeding on pit road at stage 2. What happened, man?
Yeah, it said I was doing 45 when I entered, and like it kind of like skipped a frame a second, and then it was like, oh, you sped. So I was like, I don't know if it was that weird speeding glitch that can happen, or if I just misread my speedometer. But it was okay. We were able to rebound from give him hell in stage 3.
Yeah, well, you definitely did that. Doc, any questions for our race winner?
Oh yeah, definitely. And Max Boost, once again, buddy, congratulations. Great first win for you in the NARL Cup Series. Off to a great start once again in season 2. But my question for you is, as you were saying, you had NR Lewis. You know, it was very impressive, the two of you in that final stage. You know, really tandem drafting, putting a lot of distance between yourselves and the rest of the field. But when you all came down pit road, it just seemed like when you were able to make your pit stop and get off of pit road, you would basically put a half a straightaway on NR Lewis. What modifications or what were you able to do to give yourself quote unquote that boost on the rest of the competition, and especially NR Lewis in that last pit call?
I mean, as long as I could have broken the draft, I think I figured out a line around this track where I could just slightly pull away from everybody. So as long as I got a good pit stop and broke that draft, I think that was my only way to pull away from the field. And I just kept the car the same those last 2 pit stops. It was bad fast.
All right, Max Boost. Well, probably the most important question of the night. What are you doing to prepare for the coronavirus?
Hiding in my house and washing my hands.
Well, there you go. Keep the laxatives away from the dogs and all that good stuff. Anybody you want to shout out here before we move on to our runner-up finisher?
Shout out to you guys once again for making this stream and covering the race, and everybody at NARL. It's been so much fun. I'm actually really looking forward to this season. It's just fun. I love racing with you guys. There's some really fast guys in here. So just shout out to this whole league. Like, you guys rock.
All
We're
right.
happy
Well,
to have you, buddy.
yeah, for sure. The feeling's mutual. All right, Doc. Can we get Shadowhawk in here?
Oh, thing. And Max. Oh, there it is. Okay, sweet. Yeah, let's get Shadow in here.
Let's see what he's got to say with his runner-up finish. Now Shadowhawk's one of those guys that's really fast too. Like you said, he came in halfway through the season in season 1, went ahead and won 2 races. And win 2 races in a full season is hard enough, and he did it in a half a season. So we'll see what he's got to say about his second place finish here as he joins the lobby. Shadowhawk, 1 position away from where you wanted to be, but how are you feeling tonight?
Pretty good. First stage didn't really work out. We finished 8th. We pitted there in 5th, and I took 2 tires, and I figured maybe come on with the top 5 in stage 1, and actually backfired. But won stage 2, which is nice. And then I don't even, I apologized to Lewis after the race. He had pitted 2 laps later, 3 laps later than me, something like that, and he had a little bit fresher tires, and it showed. But I held him off for 17 laps. I wanted second. I knew we weren't going to be able to catch Max. He was already 2.5 seconds up on fresh tires. So, I mean, some people may not like that, but second place. I mean, I get it's not first, but I was focused on points tonight. I wanted to get as much as I could, so that's why I was doing that.
Well, definitely a great points night for you. You got a stage win that comes with a playoff point, and then second place finish there. I mean, shoot, it's the second best points that you could get for the finish. You actually hit on my question there a little bit. Everybody comes out of pit road, and you guys all kind of catch up past Mr. Williams, who's a lap car, and then I thought that you and Lewis were up there a little bit, and I know it's not like a plate track or anything, but you would think Atlanta possibly you could tandem draft and then catch that leader. Did you just, I'm guessing, well, you already touched on it, you just think that just wasn't possible to catch Max, or were you content with second, or what was kind of going through the radio of the 43 machine?
Well, yeah, that final stage there, those final pit stops, we came out, I pitted 2-3 laps before him in the 19, Max in the 19 did, and even with how the draft and mostly full throttle at Atlanta, fresh tires still matter, and it showed. And I knew if I let Lewis by, he was probably going to pull away from me, even with draft. So I knew my only choice was I just had to stay in front of him, and and again, Max was already 2.5 seconds up. I'm not saying Lewis wouldn't have caught him or would have, but in that case, just kind of racing for second at that point, and some people don't like that, but that was kind of my goal at that point of the race.
Well, there you go. I mean, it got you a second place finish, and that's nothing to sneeze about or whatever they say. Doc, speaking of sneezing, what you got for our runner up there, bud?
I really don't have a question. I just want to say congrats, Shadowhawk, on once again a really good finish in the Cup Series. Definitely can see your side of the story. Obviously, with Max Staff far up. Lewis also, like yourself, y'all both had a great race, a lot of great strategies on pit calls and pit road. But yeah, I just want to congratulate you on a second place finish. You were definitely a competitor all night. You were definitely at the front of the field all night, contending for a W. And I'm sure it'll happen soon enough for you. So yeah, man, just congrats and good race.
Yeah, thank you, Doc. Appreciate that.
All right,
buddy.
Shadowhawk, before we end this broadcast, is there anybody you want to shout out here tonight?
Just always want to shout out you guys for broadcasting these races and calling them. You guys always do a good job, and I know we're in a little bit of a difficult time right now with this virus going on, so hope you all stay safe, and we'll be all right. I think it's going to take time, but just stay calm and be with your families. And Doc, I hope you'll be okay. I know you will be. But yeah, just great race tonight, and look forward to the next one.
All right, well, worst case scenario, we all get to stay inside of our houses for 2 weeks and play NASCAR Heat 4, right? So that's not
It's not too practice.
Yeah, not too bad of a trade-off. Doc has already cashed in his ticket on that one, so we might see him on the most races ran daily list.
Yeah. Hopefully not, but you never know. It could happen here soon enough. I really need the practice, to be honest with you, because right now the Truck Series has not been being too kind to me at the moment. I got some bones to pick with some people, but that's for another broadcast. That's for another broadcast, but it'll be okay.
Man.
We'll keep things PG.
Yeah, there you go. So where are we heading next, Doc? Is it Vegas or is it Phoenix for the Xfinity guys tomorrow?
I believe for the Xfinity guys tomorrow. Oh, that's a good question. I know the Truck Series.
Well, we're going to Phoenix. It's Tuesday.
But for the Xfinity guys,
I can look it up real quick. I got a screenshot of it. It won't take me too long. Sorry for the delay, guys. Schedules for Xfinity. They are going to Texas Motor Speedway on, I'll give you an exact date, March 15th, which is not tomorrow. So I'll see you guys back here. What is that, Sunday? Is that Sunday?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll see you guys back here Sunday. Mr. Williams will be back in the booth as long as he's not been infected by the old coronavirus. And look, Texas is a pretty similar track here to Atlanta. So what you've seen here tonight, you'll probably see a little bit more of that next week. Now, there's also a little thing called the Texas Bite that Mr. Williams coined last year. And that's off a term for the cars just get watch out for. Tune in right here on the YouTube page, 8:45. You'll have Mr. Williams and whoever decides to help him, maybe Shadowhawk. Tune in, find out.